All right, Arlene. So we are back and we've taken all these little steps trying to build your education, trying to help you get better information so you can make better decisions when you're investing. You've taken the plunge, you've taken your own money that you've worked for, and you've decided to buy crypto with it. You bought Bitcoin because you see it as this store of value, right? That if you put your money over in Bitcoin, it will be worth more in the future, is the concept, right? And we've talked about really where the value of crypto comes from and why Bitcoin has a value, as well as kind of what the predictions could possibly be based upon those fundamentals, right? And so now for this video, I really want to talk about, the use case, the medium of exchange that crypto can be, right? It's not just a digital gold, so to speak, in that, we buy it and we save it and it makes us money in the long run. Like, yeah, that is true. But crypto also has the other element of we can use this money to be able to, or we can use this crypto in order to purchase goods and services, right? And so I wanted to kind of be able to explain some of the real world scenarios that are very beneficial right now in today's marketplace that would be helpful for someone because, for example, you happen to be in another country than me. I have friends in other countries as well. And if I was to send them money, I happen to have a guy in Canada that I was going to send money to. And if I go to my bank and I wire him money, there is a pretty sizable fee for sending him that wire. On top of that, wires, which a lot of time people think are instant, are not always instant, right? Sometimes they can take a few hours, sometimes a day or two. And when we're talking about international wires, we absolutely can really run into some of those issues. It can really drag on for a couple of days because there's some compliance stuff for good reason, right? We want to, the financial institutions, they want to kind of get away from any sort of money laundering. They don't want to be moving dirty money or anything like that. And so they're going to have to use a little bit more of a compliance protocol, as well as there are international codes, what are known as the Swift banking codes, that it's its own coding system for it's going from this country to this country. So it's just a lot more steps. And crypto solves this problem, right? Crypto allows me, one person, to send you, another person, really any amount of crypto that I want for really next to nothing at a very fast rate with zero other oversight. And so if you perform a service and I say, hey, great, I need to pay you for that service, we could use a third party who will eventually pay you in a couple of weeks or a couple of days. Or I could just say, hey, why don't you open up your crypto wallet, right? Let's use Bitcoin as the example. You send me your Bitcoin address, and then I will send you Bitcoin. And then if you choose, you can keep that Bitcoin and you could go and spin that Bitcoin, right? By paying with your wallet on your phone, or you can actually get a debit card these days where you can actually go and swipe that card just like you do really anything else. And except for in this case, we're going to be spending crypto instead of spending dollars. Or you might decide finally, you know what? I rendered a service, I'm getting paid, I need this money to pay my bills. I'm going to sell my crypto and take the local currency so that I can go and budget and whatever else, right? So it kind of just depends on what you're trying to do. And so what I want to do is I want to share my screen and kind of talk a little bit about what is really happening when really when we go out to be able to do this peer-to-peer transaction, right? And there's no third party that is going to have any oversight or opinion on what's going on. And you've recorded on your screen here what it looks like to go into. Now, again, you happen to have a Binance account, right? And so you simply went into Binance and you checked on a few different things and you say, okay, I bought my crypto. I've got my Bitcoin sitting here right now. Now, depending on when you bought it, right now, I happen to know when you bought it and the prices has gone down since you've bought that. And so if you were to sell it right now, you'd be selling it at a loss. But here's the thing, this is not something you're looking at from a savings account necessarily. You're looking at it more from the standpoint of, I'm going to invest this money because I believe in the long run, it's going to go up. So you went into Binance here and you decided to say, hey, I want to transfer money, right? Or I want to withdraw money, or I want to deposit money. These are typically your options when it comes to Binance. And really what you're going to do is you're going to go in, and because you have Bitcoin, you're going to say, hey, I happen to be sending this from Coinbase, but basically all I did is I want to get my wallet address, right? Which is this really long number that you see. And I want somebody to send money to that address. Now, keep in mind, there are two different types of addresses. There is an address that is all these characters known as your public address. This would be like, you're going to send me this really long numbers and letters combination and say, hey, send money to this address. And that's like saying, hey, send money to Wells Fargo, send money to Bank of America. It's a very generic term. There's no real tie to I have your account number necessarily, right? We're going to use the cryptography that's built into this to really do a lot of that heavy lifting for us. On top of that, in crypto especially, a lot of times, because there are so many letters and numbers and stuff like that, you don't really want to go be typing them in. So it's always easy to just click it and copy it, or there's always going to be a QR code associated with every wallet. And you can simply grab your phone and scan it with your phone, and it will automatically populate that address in your wallet. Now, the other thing is, if you are requesting Bitcoin, you have to make sure that you send me a Bitcoin wallet address. So if you bought Ethereum, or maybe you bought something else, right? They each have their own types of wallet as well, their own addresses. You can't send me an Ethereum address and then say, Brian, pay me Bitcoin, because I would actually have to send you Ethereum if you wanted to show up in your Ethereum wallet. So you're going to send me a Bitcoin specific address. And then once I get that Bitcoin specific address, then I can go in and I can send Bitcoin only to that Bitcoin address. And when we look at your mobile phone here, you kind of see that you've gone into the device and you've clicked the bottom. And now Binance, every app is a little bit different, but there's always a button somewhere where you can transfer or withdraw or deposit and that kind of stuff. And so you click deposit, you're going to go and you're going to search for the crypto that you're wanting to deposit. It's going to be Bitcoin in this case. And when you get done with that, it's going to show you this QR code for your wallet, as well as this really long address. And then you can see on the screen, there's two little pieces of paper. It's like the copy sign, right? You can click that and you can send it to me in Slack or in text or whatever else. Or I actually, even though I have it on my computer screen, I can actually go ahead and pull my phone up to this image and still scan it and still go ahead and pull the address off. No problem, right? And now that I have your wallet address in there, I can go ahead and send you money. But obviously, because you are, like I said, because you're sending me this, maybe it's over text message or WhatsApp or Facebook Marketplace, or Facebook Messenger. However you communicate with people, you can send it in a lot of different ways, because you're just sending out that information one time. And then I can actually save you as a recipient in my phone. And now I don't need that address anymore. I just know, hey, I owe Arlene money this month, this week, whatever. I'm going to send her Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is fractional, right? Meaning that I don't send you one Bitcoin, because that would be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, right, worth of money. So I'm going to send you a fraction of Bitcoin. And when I go to send it, you'll see that that's how it works. All right, so now I've got, I happen to be sending this from Coinbase, but basically all I did is I hit transfer. Sometimes on apps, it says transfer. Sometimes it's a little arrow. Everything's a little bit different, but I have my Bitcoin wallet pulled up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to say, how much do I want to send her? And I could just simply click the amount or type in the amount however I want. And then I hit continue. And then I'm simply going to press this little QR code button in the top right. And then I'm going to let it zoom in on her address, right? And it'll pull it right over there. For Arlene, because you rock. There you go. It's hard to talk and type at the same time, I'm finding out. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and it shows that it's going to transfer this amount right here from my wallet to her wallet, paying with the Bitcoin wallet. You see that the fees associated with it are a tiny, 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 tiny number. But let me go ahead and send this. And then what it's going to ask me to do is a two-step verification, right? So this is like using the Authy app, right, that we talk about. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to hit my Coinbase. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to execute this. So now I've got this. I'm going to enter my two-step verification. I hit submit. And then what's going to happen is it says I've successfully sent this message, and it says the transaction takes up to 30 minutes. And the reality is it can, right? What's going to happen is it's going to go on and it's going to continue to verify these transactions. Basically, the blockchain, the cryptography behind this is going to say, hey, we need to verify that Brian's wallet is Brian's wallet and Arlene's wallet is her wallet. And we know that if Brian is saying to send it to her, we need to verify that these parties are trying to communicate, and we're going to make sure this transaction happens. And so it's going to get several verifications, right? So one computer somewhere is going to say, yep, that's good. Then another one, then another one. And once it gets a few different verifications, then all of a sudden it's boom, now you'll have it, right? And sometimes it happens in minutes, and sometimes it just depends on how many transactions they're trying to put through the network at one point in time. And so bada bing, bada boom, now you've got some money that I've sent you. And Arlene, why don't you tell us when you get it? You should be able to refresh your screen and then you'll be able to see it. And that's pretty much it, right? That's how a transaction works. And the beautiful part is, let's go back and let's look at this little fee, right? So I told you that it was, well, it rounded up a little bit, but that's okay. What was the price of Bitcoin? 32,542. I believe if I did that math correctly, it's under a quarter. If I want to wire money to Arlene, it's going to cost me $30, $50, and all that kind of stuff. And this is actually using Coinbase, which is probably one of the more expensive ones. But the fees are what the fees are, right? In the Bitcoin network, they are substantially lower. And there's a lot of other cryptos out there that have even lower fees. There's like, for example, Ethereum can have extremely high fees. Bitcoin can have extremely high fees. It really just depends on how fast you want it to go there and how long or how many people are going and trying to move money on the Bitcoin network at this moment, right? And so that's how transactions work.
Will I get a notification if somebody sends me crypto on my wallet?
When I send you crypto or you send me crypto, typically the exchanges, they automatically populate an email. Sometimes they do text messages if you have that kind of alert set up, or if you have downloaded the app, it will actually pop down as a notification on your phone, your iPad, or whatever you're using, right? And it's simply notifying you that says, hey, you've received X number of Bitcoin or whatever, right? Whatever the transaction was. And sometimes you get an email that says, you have been sent, and then you'll get another email saying the confirmations have happened. You officially have it in your wallet now. This is another great question. You asked, does it work to where if I'm sending it from Coinbase, do you have to receive it in Coinbase or Binance to Binance, or can it really be any exchanges? And the reality is, the beautiful part about the Bitcoin network is none of these things matter. They're just simply facilitation tools that allow me to send my Bitcoin to your Bitcoin wallet, right? So I happen to be sending it from Coinbase. You happen to be receiving it in a Binance wallet. And once you get it in your wallet, you will now have more Bitcoin than you had. And you can choose to either, like I said, you could sell the Bitcoin for your local currency, or you could exchange it and swap it for another crypto, right? There's an exchange rate between, I'm going to sell Bitcoin for Ethereum, I'm going to sell Bitcoin for something else. And that will allow you to diversify, is kind of the word there. But that's kind of how it works.